Hey guys, we're back.
Here at Savianos, Episode 5, Savianos Sit Down. Last week, we got to interview Dennis Pullen, a war veteran from Vietnam.
This week, we're sitting down with Spencer Johnson. His family and their company built our kitchen here at Savianos. They're stainless steel workers, fabricators, welders, but their hobby is what is their claim to fame. They are no prep drag racers, and they have one of the fastest cars in Texas. One of his videos on YouTube has over 2 million hits. Today, we sit down and talk with him about one of the wildest crashes he's ever had. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, Spencer. You had a horrific car crash, drag racing. Tell us about that experience, man.
Just a crazy deal, man. We were at the track racing for a lot of money, and we put the car up and put a tune in it that we thought would work. And it was real cold that day, man. It was just, I kind of figured that we shouldn't, honestly, I knew we shouldn't have been racing that day.
Too cold.
I think it was, it was 30-something degrees that day. And everybody talked about, you know, how slick the track was. It's already no prep racing. Like, there's no prep on the surface. It's almost like running on a slick go-kart track. You know what the slick track at the go-kart tracks where you slide around? It's like doing that in a $100,000 race car, pretty much. That's basically what we're doing. And so we knew we shouldn't have been racing that day. It's already no prep. Then it's 30 degrees outside. It was just drizzling the day before.
The conditions are all bad.
Yeah, horrible. But that's the whole point of this race is to see all these guys come together, and they want to see who can get down that track the fastest with the absolute worst conditions possible.
You're in a sport where it's all like manly men, you
Yeah.
know, ego is going crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, let's freaking go, dude.
These dudes got money. I mean,
So you guys are
these guys are loaded. I mean, they're sleeping in $100,000 stacker trailers, and like, I'm not kidding. It's like they take it no joke. These guys got multiple engines, I mean, ready to go, like $50,000 engines just sitting in their trailers
Engines
for
blow,
backup.
new one in, let's
Yeah,
race.
yeah, and we're not doing it on that level yet, but that's where we would like to be, you know, eventually one day.
Well, you got the driver for it.
But yeah,
So
for
tell
sure.
me, the braking conditions are poor, it's cold.
Yeah.
You guys, what car are you in at this time?
This was our 68 Camaro that we pretty much built the car from the ground up. Like, it was a street car when we got it. I was actually a kid when my dad and my brother originally got this car. You know, I'm the younger brother. So my brother and my dad got it, and they started building it up. I was a kid, but I was hanging out with them. I would go to the races, and I always knew I was going to drive one day.
You knew it.
Yeah. And my brother drove for a long time. Dude. And they you know, eventually my brother quit driving. He got busy working and stuff like that, and I just went out to the track. It was my time to drive. There wasn't nobody else to drive it, so I got in and started driving, and I did really good the first night we went. Like you know, most people warm up in a very slow car. You know, they might start out running, I don't know, 10 seconds in the 8th mile or something like that, you know.
Right, something slow.
Yeah, like a Honda or something. It might run like a 10 flat in the 8th mile, which is fast to a lot of people, you know. Like, that's, you know, it's respectably fast.
Yeah, but that's not where you're at, right?
Yeah, like I jumped in this car and I ran the first time I ever drove it, I ran a 5.4 in the 8th mile, that's pretty fast. It was like, I pedaled it, I kind of launched, did a wheelie, pedaled it, ran like a 5.4 at 130 miles an hour in this car that I had this is the first time I ever even got in it, and I just let off the button and it did a wheel stand and it rode out there.
How old were you?
I think I was 17 at the time.
Ah, you know that 17 feeling whenever you're like
I was
100
17.
miles
I
an
was
hour,
17,
driving your
man,
own
and
car.
this thing was like, dude, this thing had just my dad had just put a $10,000 paint job on it.
Oh.
It was burnt orange, dude. It was sick, man. Well, anyway, so it all started that night. They were like, all right, man, you can drive. They're like, you got this. We were at the track the next day, like we were testing, man.
No hesitation. You were like,
Yeah,
on,
the
I'm
next
gonna do
day
it.
I went 5-0 at 150 miles an hour. And they were like, damn. They were like, that's pretty fast. Like, there's guys been racing for 20 years that ain't been 5-0.
That's right. Spencer
And,
Johnson, baby.
I just pretty much drove it straight down through there like it was nothing.
what-
And then they were like, all right, they were ready to gamble immediately. My dad's like, all right, let's get a race. And he's like, I'm putting 500 on it.
Come on.
And we line up and. Shit, I won the first
smoked
race.
it?
Yeah, we won $500 on this little bet, and then it was just on, man. We've been racing ever since.
You would say it's your passion.
Yeah.
You love doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
You got kids in the family now.
Yeah.
Do you think twice about racing in the future?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Our new car is really safe, though. It's got all the best stuff you can get in it, man.
Okay, so let's go back to the crash, man. I want to hear what was going through.
dude.
Like, does it happen so fast you can't even think about it?
Yeah, it really does. You just, man, the car, I had been down that track in that car so many times. Like, a lot of people don't know it. That track was my home track. Like, I raced there for many years. Like, in that car, like, I was so comfortable at that track, you know? And when it took off, it kind of got a little out of the groove. We call it getting out of the groove. There's a groove in the middle of the track that you want to stay in. And on each side of that, it's really slick. I mean, really slick. It's like dusty and dirt on it.
You get outside that groove.
Yeah, it's over with. And that's what happened. I got out there, and the guy I was racing at the time, Kai Kelly, he's a big star in the no prep game. He's on TV and all that stuff. You know, me being the local guy, and that's my home track, you know what I mean? I wanted to beat his ass, you know?
Of course.
I said, we're going to win this race. I'm not going to lie, I was pumped up. Like I said, I wanted to beat him bad. And we had a pretty good start. We didn't have the suspension set up right. It did a big wheel stand off the line, and it drifted to the left, and I stayed in it, which I was pretty comfortable at that track. I was driving the car a little bit, which I had done many times before. I thought, it's a little, I knew it was out of the groove. It came down and it was right up against the wall. But I looked over and I was a nose out in front of him.
You could tell in the video that you were right there.
No, I looked over out of the corner of my eye and I could see the front end of his car. He was behind me.
You had him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there for just a second, I had him, and I knew I did. So my instinct was fucking, I'm not letting off. Like,
Go.
we're taking this, we're going to get this win, man. And the next thing you know it, the car is sideways and the wheel is just spinning real fast, and I spun it back. I kept it off the wall the first time. I went all the way across the track, you'll see. And I almost hit the wall, man. I was fighting it so hard. I brought it back. The wheel just spun really fast back towards the other direction. Shot back across the track. Here comes the other wall. I saw it coming. I was awake through the whole thing.
Dude, well, let's 2 million views on this thing. It's got to be good. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I want to watch this.
Let's pull it up and watch it together, man.
Let's check this out. I'm really interested because,
Dude, it's
I don't want that feeling, man. But you got through it.
Yep.
pull it back a little bit. All right.
So that's where I started to get out of the groove right there. And I was fighting it hard, and I fought it back. And what I
All right, stop. Hold up. So right there, you flipped 4 times.
You're
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
upside down, dude. The car stops.
Where are
Yeah.
you at?
Well, the first time it went around, I was in complete shock. It literally, I brought it back. I brought it off the wall. I saved it the first time, and I saved it, almost the second time. I was trying to keep it off the wall, which I should have just let it hit the wall because then it probably wouldn't have flipped, which I know that now, but when it initially went over, it hit really hard. I think it almost knocked me out, but it didn't. I stayed awake, and it just started going over and over and over, and I felt it. I was awake through every roll, and then finally it just started. It all set in. I had built right before the wreck. I had just built this badass aluminum hood scoop for it. I mean, it was cool, man. I built it out of aluminum, me and my uncle, and we had it anodized orange, and I had it on there, and I was proud of that thing. And right when that car went over, after it quit rolling, I was strapped in upside down, not facing the right way, and that scoop was just digging into the asphalt. I could just see it, and it was just been. I was on the roof.
He's worried about the
I
car.
want to see the rest of
Dude,
it.
he's worried about the car this whole time.
No, I was, man. I really was, man.
Another angle.
Yeah, I pedaled it once right there. And it just...
You wanted that.
Yeah. Right there, that's what I'm talking about. I was just looking out the windshield of the car as it was scraping into the concrete, and I thought, damn, there's that. I knew at that point it was done. Yeah, there's my dad right there.
Oh, man.
It's a beautiful car.
It was.
It's painful. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine, man. Just pops the car, man.
Oh, your pops right there, man.
He's worried about the car.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we've had the car forever. Literally, 1968 Camaro is my favorite all-time car. Especially to have it drag raced out like that. Like, that's the ultimate to me.
Look behind you.
Yeah, that was
still in the
painful.
car when they're
That's hard to watch.
It really is, dude. I've seen it 100 times. Like, it's still to this day. What date was that on? January 2nd, I think?
Yeah.
What year?
16?
16, so... Dude, it still replays in my head all the time. So
16,
when you're driving today, it's still like, the possibility exists that even maybe worse could possibly.
Well, yeah, because my new car, the thing is, my new car is a lot safer. It's a old built pro stock NHRA car, so it's like top of the line chassis. It's got
built by you guys, unique stainless.
No, we did not build the race car. It was built by a professional built race car chassis shop called RJ Race Cars, and they build professional level like NHRA to this day still.
Do y'all still work on the engines and stuff yourselves?
We do a little bit. We have a mechanic in Grand Prairie that does he does all our engine work. We just do little odds and ends stuff on it when we're at the track racing it.
It's a bad looking car.
Just to keep it going.
The car looks bad. The new one looks bad.
Yeah,
too.
that was on the old car. The new car it's something totally different than what that is.
Where is that car right now?
My old one? I held on to it, and a lot of people wanted to help me rebuild it, and we were going to rebuild it, and I held on to it for a long time. I had it sitting in the back of my shop, and I started to work on it there for a while, but after so long of looking at it and how twisted up and stuff it was, man, I finally said, man, I can't fix this car. We got to
get a new one.
We just got to junk this thing, man. As sad as it is, we had to get rid of it, man, and I sold what I could off of it, and they just pretty much just scrapped it. So.
And then the name of the car is what?
Cornbread.
Where does that come from?
That's the crazy name that everybody
always
wonders. From what I'm told, my dad was just given that nickname one day a long time ago at the races. I don't know, somebody started calling him Cornbread, I guess. And I guess it just stuck on him, and it's really outside of the racing stuff. Nobody knows him as that. You know what I mean? It's just at the racetrack. Like when you go to the racetrack, they know my dad as Cornbread, and he always owned the car. So I was like, and all these cars that I race with, they all got nicknames. Street Beast, just the most Fireball. I mean, just the randomest names.
I love the name.
You can think
Especially
of.
in Texas, the name cornbread, it's freaking like...
There's a girl that races that's real popular. Hers is the Hot Mess Express. I mean, they got everything. So I was like, we're gonna slap cornbread on the side of this thing. I was like, people love that. And people do. They always ask about it. So it stuck.
I love it. If I had a race car, it would be named Black Eyed Pete. Cornbread and Black Eyed Pete.
I named mine Pepperoni.
The race cars have the most wildest names you would ever think of. White Rice.
Well, what's so cool about you though, man, is like we get to know that story, but then also we know you through family, and like you've helped us, your family and you have helped us design our new kitchen and basically remodel the way our kitchen is with a lot of the great work you guys have done, and thank you, by the way. What are the elements? I know that we can kind of relate on a few things, being the younger brother, working with family, that we could probably take away from each other. You said that early on you took over for your brother who was racing because you got busy with, family stuff and work and whatever else.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I can see some. I want to identify more. What made you want to take that role and position?
I don't know, man. I just with the racing deal, I just grew up around it, and I always went with them, and I just always liked the way that the cars sounded, and
it was a part of the blood. Like me and Anthony grew up as kids, around guys rolling dough balls. My first recollection of food, like a food, awakening for me was when the guys in the kitchen back in New York, I must have been 7 years old, they were all eating raw clams with Tabasco sauce on them.
Yeah.
And they were all eating them, and you could tell that there was something going on between these 3 or 4 guys, and they were just pounding them, and they were really enjoying them.
Yeah.
And I walk up, and I'm like, hey, guys, what do you eat? And they're like, you're not going to like it, Jack.
Yeah.
So I left, and I came back a couple of minutes later, and I was like, I knew something was going on, and I had to get some. Well, after I tasted it, I was like, it was unbelievable. The hot sauce, the whole nine. I just really loved it. You growing up in the car game, and in the stainless steel, being with your dad and your brother, being the younger brother of that situation, did you always know you were gonna kind of be in racing, and not only racing, but be in the fabricating game, and the high end fabricating game, where you guys are a busy company?
Yeah. We're really busy right now.
Did you have to go to school to learn that, or did you just learn on the job?
No. I learned on the job pretty much. I just, I always kind of knew, I don't know, I always wanted to do that. I just always looked up to my dad working in the shop, doing welding. He used to take me up there, and I used to roll around on the dollies in his shop and stuff when I was a little kid. And I watched all the guys building all the stuff. And I don't know, it was just like a family thing to me. Like my dad did it, and both of my uncles did it. And we got some other family members that work in that. So I was like, that's what I wanted to do. And there's a lot of money in it, so I figured, let's do it.
And you guys are good at it.
Yeah, we've gotten pretty good at it. We're still getting better though. We're learning a lot of new stuff lately, and company's getting better for sure.
No question, man. I think that's what initially drew me to you guys when I met your dad, and he came in here and just made me feel comfortable with what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then when I came to the shop and met you guys, I was like, so it's this brother, that brother, and the dad. And I was like, man, for me, it was me working with my brother and my dad my whole life, dude. It was
like I said,
complete different backgrounds, different industries. But as we get older and you find people like that, you want to be close with them. And that's why I like you. I love Jordan, your brother, and your dad's freaking true blue, man.
Yeah.
I love now your dad will call me every once in a while.
Yeah,
just to say hello, man. It's a great feeling.
No, he does. He stays in touch with a lot of our customers and stuff because he knows you're gonna need something, So
He always takes care of us, man.
yeah, you're gonna need a new table or you're gonna need something fixed, and
We got
we
confidence in
want
cornbread.
we want you to call us, so.
Hashtag confidence in cornbread.
Every time I see corn, I'm gonna start calling him cornbread from now on. But
Yeah.
when I see cornbread walk in here, man, and he starts talking about design of
He'll-
anything, I'm like, yeah.
He'll answer to it, man.
Whatever it is, I like that.
he-
He knows the kitchen.
No, he
know?
really. When it comes to designing and fabricating kitchen equipment, man, I'd put my dad up there with the top
best.
of him. I mean, he knows the stuff that he knows by memory is just. It still blows me away. Sometimes I'm just like, how do you even know what this is? I'm like,
He's
but
good,
he
man.
he does, yeah. He can design and build a kitchen very good.
He's good.
Yeah,
He obviously can build race cars too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Have sons that drive them real fast.
yeah. My dad drove too.
You
He-
have a child. You're married with a kid.
Yeah.
So me and Anthony are as well.
Yeah.
Would you ever let your son drive a race car?
Yeah, I hope that he wants to drive. That way I can keep going to the races and have a reason to go out there.
Man, that's crazy.
I know.
It's an expensive hobby, though. They build these cars very well now. I think you'd be very surprised. I mean, I rolled that car at what I did, and I mean, watch the video. You'll see I jumped right out of it. I didn't have a scratch on me. I mean, people thought I was dead. Like I had like people really freaked out, like calling my family members and stuff to make sure that I was all right. And I literally did not even have a single scratch on me.
Did you make it?
I might have been a little bit sore the next day, but I was really more upset about the car, honestly, like because that's all we were doing. Like we raced that car every weekend. And I just wiped it out. Like we're done. Like it ain't no this time it wasn't no just take it to the shop and we're gonna fix it right quick. Like it's totaled. It's gone. Like we got to start all. We literally had to start after the crash. We had to start all over. The whole car got scrapped. So we had to get rid of our trailer too. We had a really nice, this cool trailer. We had it all set up. Well, the new car didn't fit in the trailer, so we had to get rid of the trailer too. So it was just like this whole operation we had just disappeared. It was gone. Like the car was gone, the trailer was gone, and then all of a sudden we got a new car, and then a new like bigger trailer. It was just it happened so fast. It was weird, man.
All right, so a lot of people may be out of touch with some of the stuff. I mean, as far as drag racing and things that we're talking about. Can you fill us in exactly some of the things that you go through and what exactly happens in all this in this world?
Or how did
It's another world.
How do you start? I want to know, how do you start? If you want to become a drag racer, if you want to do no prep drag, what's the first thing you got to do? How do you get into the game?
Oh.
If me and Anthony want to get into the game, what do we got to do?
You got to get a car and show up and pay your entry money, pretty much.
What's the
and then
entry
you
money
got
like?
to decide how fast you want to go and how much you want to spend.
I'm like Ricky Bobby.
If you want to spend a lot, you can spend plenty of it doing that. These dudes are going broke trying to run this stuff for real.
Okay, so what's like what's a low end initial investment, high end initial investment? Low end is what?
I mean, how fast you want to go?
I want to run a 5.
You want to run in the 5s? If you wanted to come to a no prep race and run in the 5s, I don't know. It depends on how fancy you want to be, but I'd say you might could do it for 50,000.
All right, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
Yeah, but
crazy.
is this a hobby or is it a lifestyle?
You could probably get you a setup for 50 grand and show up out there and run a 5-second pass, probably. I would think.
All right.
Are
I mean,
people
and you can
making
spend
money doing
into
this?
Maybe faster than that if you get the right deal.
you can get into the millions and you can be nonstop with it.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Like I said, there's guys that got just a couple $100 grand worth of stuff just sitting in their trailer. Like they take it that serious. But these races, they're for big money. Like I've been to a couple that are for like 100 grand.
What do you mean? Like the winner takes home 100 grand?
Yeah.
Come on.
I took home 15,000 in one race before, 5,000, $2,500 multiple times. I mean, they pay really good, and they're only like $200 or $300 to enter. So it's you make a little bit of money if you win.
So is it a hold on, are you paying the money up front, or is this a wager throughout like the crowd that they put in? I'm just
No. Well, most of the time these events are put on and they got sponsors.
Okay.
So they take entry money from all the drivers, right? And it adds up to $5,000 or whatever. And then they've got so many sponsors that put $2,000, and the pot totals up to $20,000.
Winner take all,
or what?
first place, second.
Yeah,
whatever.
sometimes they even throw like trailers in there or whatever. Like if you win, you'll win $20,000 in a $30,000 trailer too, like extra on the side. Like,
Are there races every weekend?
pretty much right now there is.
There's certain seasons where they're just, you
Yeah.
guys are just banging them up.
Yeah, in Texas they race. We race pretty much year round here because the weather. I mean, it's like 70 degrees in December sometimes.
How do we get Savianos sticker on the freaking cornbread car?
We'll put that on
Come
there, no
on.
problem.
Come on.
You know we're gonna do that.
Oh, we got to bring a sticker down there for the next race, man.
Man,
There's a new track in Ferris called Extreme Raceway, and it's really nice. Y'all have to come out there and check it out.
all right. What's the process like when you start the race? I mean, is it you? What's the,
Is
you
this
have
a
a clutch?
standard? What-
No,
I mean,
it's
You
a
just press the gas and this thing goes. Like,
it's actually like just a power glide transmission. I mean, from what I know, it's really kind of old school technology. It's really just like a 2-speed automatic transmission. But we shift it. We actually use our nitrous bottle, believe it or not. Our nitrous system is actually shifting the car too. We have a system on it to where it has a solenoid that comes from the nitrous bottle, and when the car gets to a certain RPM, it opens and it shoots a burst of air into this little cylinder, and it moves the shifter forward into the next gear.
had I not watched Fast and Furious, I would not know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
But I do. That's
Real life.
that
So
nitrous-
I got nitrous going into the engine, and then I got also a line going to my shifter, which is not a lot of people do that, but we do. I mean, you can.
It's not frowned upon.
No.
And how many you can have during a 8 mile? You said 8 mile?
What, nitrous?
Yeah.
You
how
can
many-
run whatever you want. The racing, the no prep racing is just, it's literally, it's run what you brung. Anything you want to bring. You can run as much nitrous as you want. 2 turbos, supercharger, turbos and nitrous, blowers. I mean, there's like all kinds of stuff these guys are doing.
And the top speed you've been on.
I've only been, in my new car, I've been 175 mile an hour in the 8th mile.
In the new car, they got the parachutes in the back.
Yeah, it's got dual air launched parachutes on it.
Proudest moment on the track, man.
I don't know, probably when I won that 15 grand at that race. That was pretty cool. They walked up and the guy had 3 Texas state troopers with him following him, the guy that was carrying them the money. And he literally just handed me a stack of 20s, man. I swear to you, it was like freaking 8 inches thick. And he's
I know
like,
y'all like
and
that
he was
cash.
like, and he was like, hey,
that
we
cash.
paid like $200 to enter. And he's like, here you go. I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, God. I was like, all this for just a couple passes in the car down the track?
Took it.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally only like, I think it was 5 races that night. We entered a race. It was 5 races. I won every one of them. Nobody could beat me. I just beat them all the way to the end, one right after another.
So is there like a top person like in the country that you follow
In what? No prep?
that you would love to race?
Um,
Like if you could race any person in the country, no prep racing right now, who is that person?
Man, there's a couple of them out there. I mean, I don't know if I want to race them, but then I don't want to race them because they're fast. There's a guy named Birdman. He's one of the top dogs. Fireball's up there at the top. There's a couple other ones.
Could you pony up with them?
Yeah, I can run with them. They spent a lot more for what they spent versus what we spent, and how dead on their ass we are, I mean, they're pretty much lacking, I think. Because, I mean, I got you know, an old school kind of engine. Like we're kind of old school. Like I said, we don't have a ton of money invested in the engine in this thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's expensive and it's nice. But it's not no $100,000 engine like some of these guys are running. So this guy's running a $100,000 engine, right? I'm running a $30,000 engine. And he's just barely beating me. You know what I mean? For what he spent versus what I spent, and he's just barely clipping me.
Best bang for the buck.
But he's
That's
just
right.
barely clipping me by a front fender. He ain't doing very good for what he's invested. You know what I mean?
What's the biggest wager, like gambling? I mean, you're talking about gambling in this.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
What's the biggest wager you've seen?
Man,
Couple thousand, 5,000.
25,000, 30,000.
How do you get these guys to pay up?
They bring
Probably
cash,
got the
man.
Cash right on them, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This drag racing world, like I said, these people show up and they travel too. Like, they just had a race in Florida and a lot of people traveled to it from all over the country. And they just bring tons of money to gamble.
I can't wait to get over there and see you, dude.
I mean, hey, think about it like this. It's the way they do it. I mean, it's really good gambling odds. It's only 50-50. I mean, 2 cars pull up, you got a 50-50 shot of doubling your money. You got this car and you got this car. You put $500 on it. If he gets there first, you just won $500. Like, you're either gonna win or you're not. Like, you're fixing to find out, and like real quick. And the thing is, hey, there's these guys that they go around all over and they know these cars, dude, like big time. Like, they know this car is gonna win. Like, and they're like, I want 2,000 on this car. Like, it's like horse racing,
put you on
but for
Birdman.
cars.
I want to see you race Birdman.
There's a video of it we can watch. He beat me. I raced him one night in the finals of a race. For the race, it was me and Birdman. We made it to the finals. This was another race I made it to the finals in, and it was against Birdman. It's for 10 grand to win. And it was at my home track, the same track that I crashed at. And he beat me by a couple cars. And I just raced him recently in the new car. It was pretty much the same thing. The funny thing is, in the first video, it's me and my old car and him and his old car. And he clipped me by, he runs twin turbos, big block Chevy with twin turbos. It's bad, dude. In the old car he did anyways, but he beat me by probably 2 cars, maybe 3 cars, but it was for 10 grand. My car was running really hard. He has a lot of power. And we raced him recently again in Louisiana in our new car versus his new car. Still same thing. He's twin turbo. I'm on the nitrous.
Anything changed?
Nah,
Same outcome?
I left on him again like I did in the first race, and he just overpowered me. And he
Got that
just-
second kick or whatever.
he's got the twin turbos. He's running all this boost, you know, and he just freaking like an airplane, man, just went right past me. And he put another 2 or 3 cars on me again in
How
that
do we
same
get
race.
Birdman next race? How do we get him? What do we got to do? What needs to happen?
You just got to show up, man, and enter a race that he's in.
I'm
And
talking about you. What do I got to do with you to beat Birdman?
oh man, you don't
You
want to
gotta
do
put
that.
another turbo engine
You
in
got to
there.
spend a lot of money. That's what you got to do.
Let's invest.
He Birdman's up there with the. He's the guy that's, you know, got the badass parts, and I mean he's hard to beat. Like,
I don't
you
know
ain't.
Birdman.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Well, pull up the video and let's
Is he
watch
the
it.
He's not
is he
important
the
to me.
Floyd Mayweather of this industry?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
So
He
why
shows
would
up,
you
he-
wanna put
he-
another turbo engine and beat this guy.
He shows up to all these races, and yeah, he pretty much just like knocks people out. Like, there's like some people that won't show up to races that he goes to.
Really?
Like, yeah, like they know like that.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, like why drive to fucking New York
To go race a car that's gonna beat me by 10 cars.
yeah,
By
exactly.
the time I hit,
He's
my
literally
gas,
that
already at the
fucking.
finish
He's
line.
that fast, dude.
No, I can't. You're talking, what, an eighth of a mile?
Yeah,
So,
it's only like, I think it's 660 feet, I'm pretty sure.
This guy's doing double the engine power you
He's
got.
running, I'm probably putting down 170 to 175 miles an hour in the 8th mile. He's running close to 200. He's hitting, you know, he's hitting 190. I think, you know, this is all like,
And
it's none of
175
us
is
know
great.
what each other runs. It's
Everybody's-
all a
everybody's-
secret.
Everybody keeps a secret.
I don't know what he runs, but I know I'm running 175. He's beating me by 3 cars. He's probably up close to 200. He's got to be.
Yeah,
He
you got a guy
maybe
running
he might
less
be
than you or
he
half
might
what
be
you're
in the
doing.
200. There's similar. I know he is because there's other cars that do tell their times, that run what he has, you know, and they're running 200 miles an hour.
People
So
won't
you
show
can
up to race that. He's
No, they-
done eating dinner by the time they're touching the finish line.
yeah.
They've already. He's at a restaurant. They're like,
Yeah.
What happened? Where'd he go? Where's Birdman?
Yeah.
You, at least, you're keeping in the car with, you know, you've got some.
Hey, we got a
flow
lot of
there.
power too. We got that.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that we're gonna beat Birdman. I think we're gonna beat him.
Now it's turned personal.
Now it's a personal issue.
I like Birdman. I don't know him. I've never watched him, but we're gonna beat him.
We'll try to.
All right, HGTV.
I've
hold
tried.
up. I wanted to go into this. Too.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, we can switch it up.
Hold up. All right, so you were part of HGTV in what was the name of the show?
It was for Unique Stainless, our stainless steel fab company. They were doing a show on HGTV called "I Hate My Bathroom." I don't know if you guys ever seen it. I hate my bathroom.
My wife loves that stuff.
Yeah, well, they go in there and they find these people and they that hate their bathroom and they remodel them, right?
Love it.
So they had this cool house up in Minnesota, and they called us and they needed a stainless steel vanity top to go in their bathroom, double sink bowl with this two little radius fronts on it. So. And they said, it's going to be for the show. You guys want to come up and install it and be on the show. Like, we're going to film you putting it in and, like, you know, kind of like we're talking right now or whatever. And it was the real deal, man. Like, I showed up and they had a full-on crew. Like, they had the guy there, the host of the show. You know what I mean? It was, like, legit, man. And we set it all up and they mic'd us up and all that stuff. And they did a really good story on our top. I mean, they set it up in the driveway, and the host of the show got behind our countertop that we made. He had it right in front of him, and you know, he talked about it and all that stuff. It was really cool. They actually they were kind of freaked out on me because I'm from Texas. You know, I got this accent and I say all this
Well, you got
crazy.
that southern
They're way
dude.
up north. Well, my accent just had them thrown off completely. Check this out, right? So they're like, we want to get you in your truck backing in with the stainless top. Like, this was it was crazy, man. Like, I pulled up and here's a full-on TV crew. Like they're filming me getting out of the truck, dude, like unstrapping the top. And they were making fun of me because my truck's it's a Texas edition Chevy. And they're like, look at this guy. They were like, look at this truck. They were like, he's got a Texas edition Chevrolet. They were like, at this time, I think they just started doing those or something. And they were like, we've never seen this before. And they were like, listen to this guy. They were like, listen to how he talks and all this stuff.
Was it
they were
multiple
getting a kick out of me, man. It was funny.
So they featured you guys?
Yeah, we were on the show. It shows me and the guy that went with me, Cody. Me and him drove it up there in my truck. We full on installed it, carried it up, brought it in, dropped it in. They filmed the whole thing.
That's fun.
And it was on the show. Yeah.
And to know you're that
I mean,
good.
it's just a little clip, you know, just for a second, but it's there.
We had our thing here. We had house hunters come here one time. It was kind of like the same.
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
It's always fun when you're around that, or you know, you get to do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
That was cool,
Yeah.
man.
But there's a link on our website too where you can watch it. It's on there.
What's the
It's uniquestainlessdesigns.com.
uniquestainlessdesigns.com.
Yep.
All right.
So
You got an Instagram?
Yeah, we do. Unique Stainless Designs on Instagram.
What about your Instagram?
At Spencer Johnson 31.
All right.
I
What
think.
about your Snap? You want to talk about your Snapchat?
No.
No Snapchat?
No.
All right.
No?
At Spencer Johnson 31, man.
I don't really do Snapchat. I just got started on that.
Okay.
It's kind of a new thing.
I'm
on.
trying to.
For me, it is, at
I'm
least.
trying to learn it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I just downloaded it too. Really, I really did.
Yeah.
So I just got a few friends on there.
Now that we've been doing some more of the social media stuff, I'm actually trying to figure all that out.
I don't really care for it that much,
No?
honestly.
Well, I mean, I haven't been on it for a very long time, but I've been toying
Yeah.
with the notion of getting it for the restaurant.
Being in business now, it's like you have to. That's one of the things in business. If you're not on these social media sites, it's like you have to do it now. You just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like learn.
I can see it for a restaurant,
Well,
yeah.
that's beneficial. I mean,
The metal stuff is kind of cool. I try to put some stuff out there, you know.
yeah, but what seems so dull and everydayish for us and you might not seem so dullish and everydayish.
Yeah, you're
for
right.
people
Yeah,
that
because,
are at home.
dude, I come up
Because,
here
man-
and I see y'all cooking and stuff in the kitchen, man, and I'm like, dude, like, you wouldn't think it. Like, you're probably thinking,
That's
man,
it.
this shit, like, you're like you said, you're probably thinking, man, this shit sucks. And I come up here and I'm like, man, this shit, I'm like, this is cool, man.
Crazy.
That's
I'm
how I
like,
feel
I'm
like when
like,
I see y'all.
I know, that's what I
Exactly.
said. I'm like, man, this looks cool. I'm like, this dude's got it going on, man. I'm like, I'd love to be doing this. You know what I mean? It's crazy how we just think different stuff about people.
Well, we were in our worlds, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool that we get to combine those worlds and discuss stuff like this.
Yeah.
Anytime I get to hang out with you, your brother Jordan, or your dad Daryl, I always consider it a special time, man. And I think that we make this a regular thing, have you back on and talk more about racing.
Definitely.
Maybe bring the cameras out and do a live one of you racing out there.
Yeah,
at,
you could
the
if you
racetrack,
wanted
man.
to. Yeah. For sure.
I think it'd be cool.
That
Yeah.
would be cool, man.
I don't mind at all.
Do you think you could take a NASCAR car and drive it 200 miles an hour around the track 15, 20 times?
Oh yeah, I've actually really wanted to do that.
That's what you really want to do?
I've always wanted to drive one of those. I just
Favorite NASCAR driver?
I don't have one. I don't really keep up with it, but I've always wanted to drive one.
Well, that's great because we have Greg Biffle here coming in. He's going to let you drive his car. Just kidding.
That'd be funny, man. No, but yeah, that'd be cool to drive a NASCAR, man. I think that'd be like I said, it'd be really cool, man. I like going fast in anything. I've always been that way.
Man, I remember.
You put me on anything, I'm gonna try to do a wheelie on it, and I'm gonna see how fast it'll go.
Dude, every when I was growing up, dude, 13, Channel 13, you'd see the guys working on the. You remember growing up and like they were working on cars, working on an engine, how to do an oil change, and
Right.
they'd teach you. I was on TV back then before the internet. I used to be addicted to those shows, like how to change a transmission. I could never do it, but
That's what I just did
love it.
tonight.
Tonight you did it?
Yeah, I just took the transmission out of a car tonight.
Man, I want
Right
that
before I came up here.
got skills, boy.
Take the guts out of a car, put them back into a car. I don't even know where to start. I really don't.
I put gas in it.
The guy
Yeah,
that came over to my house to help me work on the car I dropped the transmission out of today. I got a custom tool that I made, and it just blew him away, man. He's like, these bolts are they're way up in there.
Can't get to him.
Yeah, he's like, how you gonna get those out? And I said, I'll show you. I pulled out this custom tool that I made, and I just stuck it right up in there and took them right out. It turned probably an hour job into 5 minutes. Just backed them right out. We had that thing out like that.
That's so cool. Freaking built the tool you needed.
Yep. The longest socket extension you'll ever see. It's like a 4-foot extension for a socket.
Crazy.
See, that's
It's longer than the
he's
whole
talking to me like,
transmission.
if we were start talking about making a batch of dough, he'd be
Yeah.
like, huh?
Yeah, I
Talking
would.
about
I suck,
extensions?
dude. I suck at cooking.
I don't even know where the transmission's located on a car.
I
could
suck.
teach-
I
could teach
suck
you.
at cooking,
I can
dude.
teach you how to cook.
I-
Who cooks at home? You or your wife?
We both do. I mean, we cook just like basic stuff, like baked chicken and asparagus and just like broccoli and cheese, rice, mashed potato, just the basic stuff. You know what I mean? We can't. Neither one of us are really good cooks, to be honest
If
with
you're
you.
if you're ordering
We-
pizza,
we-
where are you ordering it from? Like delivery.
Right now, Man, right now I've been on that thin crust Pizza Hut. Honestly,
Okay.
I really like the thin crust, just pepperoni from Pizza Hut.
I'll dig on that. You ever eaten Costco pizza before?
No, I eat the Tombstone pizzas a lot though. You can't beat those.
I'm a Totino's man myself.
I like the
Oh
Tombstone.
man.
Dude, I can't get enough of those Totinos sometimes. I eat 2 or 3 of them, man. I love them.
That's
The
man.
idea of making pizza at home is crazy to me for you.
It's funny
I
that
know how
you that you start talking about pizza, man. I'm like a freaking pizza
You love
fanatic, dude. Yeah, like
Do you ever watch
I
that guy?
proud myself on how good I can cook a Tombstone pizza. Really, like
You got it down.
I'm like,
it on the box.
I know it says it on the box, but like you gotta like your oven, you know what I mean? It's like they're not all the same. Like I got it down, like I know 12 minutes, like right here.
Are you
Like,
are you baking sheet? Or are you straight on the rack?
Like 10 degrees less than what the box says. Yeah, straight on the rack.
Straight on the rack.
Yeah, for sure. Straight on the rack makes totally big difference.
Dude,
like,
I like to put the baking
like
sheet in the oven and let it heat up.
I literally can open the door and I see this is the one thing I can cook, dude. Like right when I see the crust turn like a certain little brown on the edge, I know it's ready. I take it out. That $5 pizza is perfect.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
That's not cooking.
No, I know that's
Tombstone pizza.
that's what I said, man. I can't cook. I'm horrible at cooking. So it's like, but you talk about pizza, you know, we were just joking about the pizza and stuff. It's funny that you say that because, like I said, I just eat a lot of pizza. It's good.
Have you ever seen that guy on Barstool Sports? He does the pizza reviews
No, I
on
haven't.
YouTube. You gotta check him out. He's cool. He does the one bite, everybody knows the rules in New York. He's popular.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I think
Pizza in New York.
honestly, I think I may have seen a clip of it, but I haven't seen any like full videos or anything like that.
He's good.
Yeah, like not to pat myself or Jack on the back or anything, but until you've had the grandma pizza at this restaurant,
Yeah, I
this
haven't.
is completely apart from advertising. I swear, I would say this if I was not even on camera. This is that pizza, the grandma pizza, is the best pizza in this metroplex.
Yeah, I love
Not
our
kidding.
grandma pie is the best.
Dude, when me and my girl
if you
came
ain't
up
had it
here
yet.
that night, it was like we were just blown away, man. We really were like,
I remember cooking.
We had-
He was like, Jack, and I see your smiling face.
dude,
we were happy.
we just got like appetizers and a couple drinks, you know, and it was perfect, man. The food was, it really was. Like we've been dying to come back, like, but we got the 2 kids. And like they're bandits right now, man. Like they'll tear this place apart. Like I promise you, you'll hear them. You'll be in there cooking, and you'll hear them back there probably
It's okay.
screaming.
You love
So-
being a dad or no?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Right now, it's just we can't go eat anywhere. It's hard to find time to go eat, but we've really been wanting to come up here and eat because we really like the food.
Dude, don't be afraid to bring them in,
Bring
man.
the
Let them
kids.
run around. They're not going to
Shit.
destroy too much. Sundays we come in here and prep, and our kids, you know, they take apart.
You know, I don't
patty.
really live that far from here. It's just right down the road.
I see your mom and your dad every once in a while. They'll come in,
Yeah.
sit in the bar and have dinner with us.
Yeah,
They'll split a
it's hard not to, man.
seafood scampi with a little bit of spinach on the side. Your dad loves that seafood, dude.
Dude, he talks about this place all the time.
He loves it with
dude.
mozzarella on top.
I
and
think you would
breadcrumbs.
you probably wouldn't believe how many times he's told people to come eat here.
Man.
Honestly, I'm not kidding you, dude. Like,
Your dad's
he's-
good people. I love when he
Yeah,
calls
he
me,
is.
man.
like I see, I mean, you have good food. Like, you can't, like, that's, people eat, like, you want to recommend good places to eat to your friends, you know, and like this is one of those places. Like I just literally, when I was on my way over here, I was talking to my friend about what I was coming to do, and I was telling him that he needed to come eat here. You know, it's just one of those places that you bring people to eat because the food is so good. You know they're gonna come back.
You know, we were just approached by a big corporate restaurant company to expand. They wanted to give us a ton of money to
Yeah.
open and be the next regional chain. And he goes, he kind of like pitched us on it. Tons of money behind it, big investors. And he goes, you just have to decide if you want to do it, you know? And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, me and Anthony were talking with Dad, and it was like, we like being that one restaurant in Euless that
Yeah.
everybody can come to, where we're going to be there, or we're
Yeah.
hands-on, that we don't have 10 locations.
Yeah.
We're going to be in one spot.
Right.
Something that we're really proud of, instead of dropping the quality over 10 spots and become the next regional hit and selling off, you know, all the spots. And it means a lot to me that you said that, because we're proud of what we're doing here, man. I know you guys are too. And,
Yeah.
and being in the family business, and you know, we've been in business now for almost 25 years. I know you guys have been in it for a long time too. There's something to be said for that, man. When you're in
Yeah.
business for a long time, you know, stand the test of
Yeah,
time.
you're doing something right, you know, and you don't want to mess with it too much.
Yeah.
Really. Like he said, we're always up here, and if you don't even see us in the dining room, we're not far.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we're somewhere very close by. If you didn't get to see Jack or Anthony, and that's what makes us unique. The same way you guys touch every piece of stainless steel that comes through your
Dude,
shop, man.
This guy's a beast, man.
I know he is, man.
Oh, we could talk forever. Let's wrap this up, man. I'm glad.
I wanna keep going.
I know.
I love this.
It's you know. This,
I'm not in a rush. If y'all want to go, hell, it
this
doesn't
podcast
matter.
is like just exactly what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be like more of a discussion. I knew you were
Yeah.
the perfect person for it, because you're freaking cool, man. I freaking love you.
Oh,
love
come
your
on,
family,
man.
dude.
Stop
you're,
it,
You're
dude.
bad. You're
No.
bad to the bone, dude.
No,
Running
no.
175.
Nah, that ain't.
Come
That's
on,
not
dude.
that fast, man. Come
We
on.
need to drink some more coffee. Drink some of those
We-
espressos, boy.
You have any just regular coffee with creamer and fucking sugar, man? I'm basic, man.
Tell your dad and your brother hello for me. Give your mother our regards, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and your family again, man.
Okay, man.
Thanks
cool.
for doing this, bro.
No
Appreciate
problem,
it, man.
guys.
Nah, dude,
Thanks.
this is awesome, bro.
Yeah, great time, guys, talking.
Thanks, Spence.
Peace, guys.